morning, guys. I'm a lot more awake than I was yesterday. I had a good sleep last night, so that's great. I think I woke up quite early in the morning, not last night but the night before, because I wasn't sure or not we're going to have this humongous risk event between Ukraine and Russia. But what's currently undergoing, that we're having peace talks and negotiations, so that's positive. It's going to be risk on, isn't it? So the fact that they're talking is a positive sign. So just be aware that we've got a lot of high severity data today. ISM data, you've got the GDP from Canada, you've got the inflation rate, you've got the manufacturing PMI from the UK. We had retail sales out, so it's going to be quite a busy day today. Quickly look at bubbles. Swiss is strong buy and the euro is strong sell, but that bubble should be smaller. So I think what's happening with the euro is that the retail guys are getting stopped out and the price is going, it's doing a reverse, because what we should do, what we should see is that we should see small bubbles there and we should see large bubbles there. So Swiss is right, euro is wrong, so that tells me that that needs to move. And the fact that we're so extreme, what's happened that we run stops. And of course, you know, it can't get to 100% because there's no one on the other side of the equation. So being so extreme, it tells us that, yeah, 85%. So it's too extreme. So I think euro can probably move away from being strong sell, and it could even be a euro Swiss contrarian long because of the squeeze. All right. So we have to be, you know, we want to try and avoid those extremes. All right, dollar's in an okay place because we haven't gone into the corner. When something's in the corner, it tells us that they've been in the process of being stopped out, and so that's that. So a little bit of an indecision of the EJ and dollar CAD, and also there wasn't that much movement, and the sizes are small as well. Because the sizes are small, it tells us that the stops were taken out. Retail guys got burnt. So that sort of coincides with what I was saying with the euro, is that I think stops got run, basically they got taken and absorbed. So I think we might see a reversal in the euro, so we've got to be a bit careful. Let me do the heat map. Oops. Quickly. Add indices. Quickly. Indices, okay. And then we'll do change, and we'll see how we are. It's looking quite good, isn't it? It's looking quite bullish. What I was saying about those peace talks, so yeah, it's looking quite good. So we need to remember the context of risk appetite, and of course that's going to impact your FX pairs. So that's what we need to talk about now. I'm just going to go over a few pairs that are telling us that while we're sort of risk on, and let me show you EA actually, if I can find it. Actually, I'll show you indices actually. This is the US 30, and we had that horizontal support. You know, I was saying that that's probably going to be a good support, and we did rally a lot, and it looks like we're going to break pitchfork. Right, so that's going to be pretty bullish. We've got a bullish ABCD. Zoom out. So yeah, okay, we've got a descending channel still. You see there, and that's at 35,121 area. So we've got a long way to go, and that's possibly going to be a good resistance. US 500, but likewise. Oh, actually break it. Ah, that's quite interesting. So that's going to be important. 44.01, right? And US 2000 Russell, yeah, likewise 2034. So that's quite easy to remember. Oh look, we did break it. Just calculating the data. So 2022 is your level of support now, and might have resistance up here. We've got a long way to go before we get up there. I don't know if I can show you DAX. It'd be nice if I could. No, it won't allow me to do that, but it allows me to do FTSE, which is a bit strange. No DAX. Nasdaq? No. That's okay. Let me try and find some stuff to look at. Nope. Yeah, this is fine. So we've got new monthly pivot. So the UJ's new monthly pivot for March is 115.15. So it's dead easy to remember. You can't forget that. It's easy. 115.15. We are a sell according to the currency strength meter. We're a quarter in a range, aren't we? We can argue we did a breakout there-ish. You know, you could probably argue, you know, quite bullish because of that, but didn't really sustain higher. Obviously, they had a lot of geopolitics as well, causing price to whipsaw, but really we're sort of stuck in a range, aren't we? And there's February's pivot, and this is March's. So the fact that we're higher is a bullish indication. All right. EA, that's what I was going to show you. Now, what's happened at EA is that we're very, very extreme, like the Euro Swiss, like I said at the beginning. And now what's quite key is to note this, the distance between the stop loss clusters. This tells us that they're sort of coming to the end of their patience. It's normally the stops are wide, and because they're quite risk averse, they get into a point where they're getting so squeezed that they're quite happy to exit. And see, the one below is 153.52, so we're 40 pips away. I'd probably say that could be the limit of their patience. There's not much liquidity down here, but there's a lot of liquidity up here. So potentially that might be the last of the stops. If you look how skewed the sentiment is, and there's the buy signal, the sell signal, sorry, here. So if you'd waited for the monthly pivot break and knowing that it was a sell at the sentiment, it's a 400 pip move, just using the monthly pivot and knowing that we were a sell at the high level, and they're adding to that bias. Because they add, it increases that bias. So it's a good idea just to get the SLC indicators. A great tip is to see the distance between. If they're quite close, it tells us that they're getting frustrated and exhausted, and so that could be the last of the stops, I'm thinking. What else could we look at? Maybe dollar CAD, maybe, because we've got the GDP later, and I guess I'll wrap up the video, and I'll take requests as well. There's your monthly pivot for February, and we're breaking below February's pivot, and there's March's pivot. Okay, so one above is 127.05, one below is 126.45. We are a sell, so it's no surprise that we're falling, and they added long. Because they added long when it's already a sell, it falls. Right, so they went long here on this candle. It might be that they looked this candle here and this one, they thought, oh, that looks quite bullish, and they all went long. It's very erratic, actually. It's quite horrendous. It's really horrible, very undecided. So that's it, I guess. We can have a quick look at crypto, and then I'll wrap up the video. Add crypto. Okay. Don't do volume, do change. Yeah. So I think we're quite risk on, and that's that. So I put some stuff out on the technical channel about the S&P, and we might see some fluctuation on the 50% line, but it looks like what happened recently was like a head fake. So I think that's what it is. It's carving out a bottom, but it's had to like flush the retail guys out, and that's what I think happened. So quite bullish, quite risk on. And don't forget, the keyword is negotiations and peace. Right, so they're the keywords that the algos are looking at. And it looks like, you know, we're going to be fairly risk on today. And also just to note that we've got a lot of high severity as well, so it could be a bit skewy. We could be risk on and maybe a little bit risk off by this time. It's 7 hours time potentially, and then we've got Bank of Canada and POW tomorrow. Okay, so we need to keep that in mind, and the inflation rate from the Eurozone as well. So have a good day. Let me know if you need any charts. I'll not mind at all. I quite enjoy doing it, so just let me know, and have a good day.